Let's see if I get somebody to come in and here this afternoon, a little later than I wanted to be. But it's Tuesday, and you know what I do on Tuesday. Turner Talks Faith on Tuesday. So I am hoping a couple of you will interrupt your brief moment and come on in here and let's have this faith conversation, this talk. It's a wonderful day to talk to you. It's a wonderful time to be with you on Tuesday. Let's see if it happens. Let's see if it happens. Yeah, I've been extremely busy today since early morning and meetings all day, but I will not allow Tuesday to go past without coming on and speaking to you. So, all right, let me see if I can get at least five of you to come in here. And if I can get you, come on, I'm going to go ahead and have this conversation. Going to have this conversation. This is Turner Talks Faith on Tuesday. Welcome. Welcome, Turner's Talking Faith on Tuesday. I tell you what, tag somebody and get them on with you because I'm only going to be here a couple minutes and I'm going to actually just try to meet you at a time that I think is so imperative to have this conversation. It's Tuesday, and actually, I want to talk about the vaccine for doubt. The vaccine for doubt. Vaccines for doubt. I want to show you this. Let me see. Yeah, can you see that? All right. So yesterday, I went and had my first round of vaccination for COVID. So all of the things that were projected of what's going to happen to you, the things that are going to happen, and you're going to have fever, you're going to have this, you're going to have that, and this culture, it's going to respond this way and the other things. My doctor, who has been with me so long, she said, I take good care of you. I said, yes, you do, doc. And she said, well, it's time for you to go ahead and get this vaccination. And I said, okay. She said, I want you to take the vaccine and you're going to be okay. And I just want to say to you, you see that right there? That's proof that I went and received what my doctor had recommended. And I don't want to debate about the vaccine. I just want to talk about making your body ready for things that are in the atmosphere. We know that the pandemic has taken the lives of over 500,000 individuals. And the precautionary effort is if something's available for you, why step away in fear and say, I can't do it? When in fact, you really should just say, let me see. Let me try. Let me see what this is all about. Let me just prepare myself for life. That's what I'm always about. It's about preparing myself for life and what's doing on that. Now, I'm not going to debate the vaccine, but I want to put this in context of you and faith. Faith, Faith. Last week I talked to you about keeping the F, but taking out of the EAR, because too many people are living in fear and not faith. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to tell you to go buy a new car. I'm not trying to tell you just go. But I'm trying to tell you it is time to live your best life now. It is now time for you to ascribe to being healthy, mind, body, and spirit. It is time for you to be healthy, mind, body, and spirit. And so, in order to do that, one of the things that you have to do is look at your entire being as a vessel of value. And you got to ask yourself, how do I take care of this vessel? How do I take care of it? How do I take care of it? Well, first of all, you make sure your mind's not cluttered with the collections of failures and doubts. The second thing you do is You make sure your heart is purified. There's no bitterness inside of you that is just eating away at your beautiful future, and everything you see is clouded. You also make sure you don't put toxic things inside of your mind, your heart, your spirit. And here's the thing that you also must do. I want to tell you to do is I want you to come away from that thing that causes you to doubt. DOUBT. Doubting is the most powerful thing that will interrupt your faith and your future. Doubting. Doubting is the most powerful thing that interrupts your faith and your future. Doubting. And I come to you today as a friend, a colleague, a person that believes God with you. I come to you today because so many of us are drowning in doubt. Doubt. I want you to recognize that doubt is a toxic factor that interrupts your faith. It really is. And it comes from a Latin word, to distrust. And sometimes you distrust who you are, and you distrust what is available to you because you have had too many, as you call them, disappointments. And wherever there's a disappointment, there's what I ask you is, when you're at the crossroads of a disappointment, do you realize you can go down to a point where you say, I quit, or you can say, let me try something else. A decision for greater. So when you're facing disappointments, like I am sitting here stationary right now, and I could go to the right or I could go to the left. In your life, when you hit a disappointment, don't doubt yourself. Stop doubting yourself. Stop allowing fear to feed your future, because doubt will cause you to sink in a place that you should be standing. Doubt. It's a toxic thing that comes to many of you who just think that it's okay. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be active. Just doubt. Just don't deal with it. You don't feel like dealing with it, do you? And you just kind of just like, it is what it is. That is not the power that's invested inside of you. I want to talk to you about the fact that when I was reading again, and we'll talk about this over and over again, in the book of Matthew, the 14th chapter, when Peter was walking on the water, and the thing that Peter did, he saw Jesus doing something that he wanted to do. He saw Jesus walking on the water, and Peter, being a disciple, said, I want to do that. There are things in your life that you see that you want to do, you want to accomplish, and you have allowed yourself to analyze it over and over again. And the thing that is so prevailing is, how many more missed opportunities are you going to have? And I want you to take 2021, because we've been through hell in 2020. We've been through hell. You name it. It's been not only a pandemic, it's been a political upheaval. It's been a police brutality. It's been COVID. It's been families. It's been mortalities. And it's just been too much for you to miss this great opportunity that's waiting for you. There's a great opportunity waiting for you, and it's in 2021. It's this year. Please do not ask me to prove it. I want you to prove it. I want you to prove to yourself that I'm going to get up from where I am, and I'm going to make progress from the seat of doubt, worry, and anxiety, and I'm going to make progress in my life. I'm going to surround myself with things of life so that I don't drown in doubt. Here's the interesting part for those of you that are Bible scholars, read it in Matthew 14, where Jesus sent the disciples away and he said to them, go to the other side. Prepare. I'm coming to meet you on the other side. You get a word. Whenever you get a word from God, live with that word. Live with that word. Buy into it. Grab a hold of it. When you get a word from the Lord, it means that you are an intimate part of a covenant with him. Whenever God gives you a word, you are in intimacy with him. He says to the disciples, get on the ship, go to the other side, which means you are going to make it. Because God's never going to send you somewhere and says, get on the ship, I'm going to destroy you on the ship. Get on the ship. Here's the dream you're about to have. Here's the vision you're going to have, and it's not going to work out. I just want you to be depressed the rest of your life. God does not operate that way. Doubt does. Doubt takes what we hear from God. You see the beautiful trees, the flowers, the things? He wants you to look at those things and say, there's life and there's hope. And that's what I want you to do. When he told the disciples to get on the boat, go to the other side, he left them and he went and prayed. He prayed that he might have strength to continue. That's the thing that I want you to start doing. Praying, Lord, help me to continue. Whatever great thing that's been on your spirit, your mind, don't allow frustrations, don't allow delays, don't allow things that have come into your life to interrupt who you are and who you are about to become, because your latter is going to be greater than your future. All right, I got to hurry up because my time is getting back and you're not going to want to be here. So here, let's watch this. Jesus sends them away. They're on the boat and a storm arises. That was all of 2020, wasn't it? A storm arose. One thing after another. Some of us are still in the midst of them. Storms arising. And with a storm, you've got to know that nothing that you go through in your life makes our God step away from you. Only one thing is that when you take on an idol. But other than that, whenever there's a storm in your life, like right now, the wind is blowing and the trees are just dancing back and forth, I know it's not going to rain because the sun is shining. This just wind blowing. And I want to use this because it is so appropriate to what Peter says. Peter says to the Lord, if that's you, he says, bid me to come. In other words, what he's saying is, don't teach me how to swim. Don't teach me how to tread water. Help me to do something that I see you doing. And empower me to do what no one else is able to do. Here's a third point. Tell God to empower you to finish or accomplish or initiate something that no one thinks you're able to do. Tell God, empower me. Tell God, empower me. Tell God, empower me so that I can do what I keep putting off, what I procrastinate, what I do. I start something and then I just kind of move it to the side. I start something, I move it to the side. And this is the year for you to finish this walk on the water. This is your year, your season, because you've had countless delays because of doubt. He says, empower me. Tell me to come. Jesus says to Peter, come. No long dialogue. You want the Lord to write you a movie script. The Lord's already told you it is done. And he's waiting for you to get up and start walking. You keep saying, tell me more. And the Lord is saying, you have enough. And I want to strengthen your faith today. You have enough to do this miraculous thing because God's really waiting for you to do it. And so now what happens is Peter, he says to Peter, come. One word, not even two syllables, come. He doesn't even explain to him anything. Now, the context is the winds are blowing. The wind is blowing. Why would you allow wind to stop you from coming? I'm sitting outside today and the wind is blowing. I know it's blowing. But why am I going to allow the wind that's blowing these trees and blowing these flowers to interrupt me sitting here talking to you? Because the wind is not strong enough to cause death in my life. It's not a tornado, it's just wind. What I'm saying to you about doubt will blow on you and make you feel that you cannot finish your journey. And when Peter began to doubt, pay attention to the wind, he started sinking in the water. Ladies and gentlemen, the brother was walking on the water, but he took his eyes off of who he was coming toward, what was Jesus, and began listening to the wind. He heard wind, and wind says, W-I-N-D says, aren't you afraid? You should be afraid of me. You can't do it because I'm blowing. But how did you forget that it was the master of wind who said, come through the wind to me? How many times has God told you you can do it and you just heard wind? You've heard doubt. You've heard critics and skeptics telling you what you couldn't do. How many times have you heard skeptics say, oh, you're too old, you this, you're that? Skeptics that got you in a quandary of life. Skeptics. And you know what? Skeptics are alive to cause you to be strong. Skeptics are alive to cause you to be strong. And so sometimes you got to have memories of skeptics so that you can continue walking on the water. Skeptics who were telling me, man, you crazy, don't go get that vaccine in the whole 9 yards. So you know what I did? I left the daggone Band-Aid there that the nurse put on from yesterday. Not that my arm is hurting, not that there's any nothing is excruciating. There's no pain coming out. There's no leakage out of the arm. I just want to show skeptics that what you thought was going to take me under did not. It actually prepared me for the next shot that's coming. Doubt, do not allow it to take you under. I want to tell you the vaccine for doubt is hope. The Bible says, Abraham, who against hope believed. And that's what I want to share with you today. As Turner Talks Faith and gets ready to get off of your time, I want you to hold on. I want you to hope. I want you to grab a hold of something and just say, you know what? I'm holding on. Because if you can come through a storm, if a plant can come through this, the wind blew this plant over the other day. You know what it did? The wind was blowing so badly, it just pushed it all around. And I came out the next morning and wait till the wind stopped, and I put it right back where it belongs. That's what you're about to do. The wind is about to cease, and you're about to go right back where you belong. And not only are you going to be back where you're going to belong, but you're going to be greater than you used to be. Hey, Turner's Talking Faith on Tuesday. I want you to like, share, send this out to a friend of yours. I want you to really Stand up, and I want you to become the bold, boisterous person that you're supposed to be, and stop doubting, because he said to come. Hey, Turn to Talks Faith on Tuesday. Like, share, follow. Love you much. Let's get out of here and get something done the rest of this year.